All right, here we go. So, accidentally today, I deleted the video that I uploaded yesterday for the final day, the 31st day of the individuation process for the month of October. And it was just, I don't know, it was being weird when I was trying to upload it. So, I thought that I deleted something else, and apparently I deleted that video, and it just kind of threw me into, I don't know. But anyway, just to kind of like go back through it again, the question to ask the self is how will I approach myself differently with the insights and self knowledge that I have gained over the course of this process of individuation? And the reason why this question is so important to ask is because through the process of individuation, you learn so much about yourself because you're taking all of your energy back. You're realizing the separation between you and other people, and especially for those people who got so, conditioned into the role of thinking that they need to tune into everyone else in their environment to gain a sense of safety, which is just not true. And this has to be made very clear. Not everyone is safe. So you thinking that you need to tune your energy into somebody to gain a sense of safety just because it's something that you're used to, it can be actually very dangerous. So going with that, it's very important to understand that when you kind of like bring your awareness and your energy back to yourself, it changes the dynamics of everything. Um, since I've been on my journey of healing, I have noticed so many things about myself, specifically, the things that I grew up with and everything, and actually, like moving away from them and not allowing myself to get consumed by things that I don't need to anymore, or that I never needed to. I talk a lot about collapse, right? And I actually did an entire podcast episode on that. And collapse is very interesting because when you think about it this way, something cannot stand unless it has a foundation, right? So when you realize that the parts of the foundation of that thing that is standing is just like forced or not real, and then it's taken out, things collapse. Like it's very interesting, and um, that's where that's where I'm at in my life right now, and that's where I think that a lot of people are and are also heading. So um, it's important to take that into consideration when reflecting on this entire process because again, it can be very easy to get consumed by ideas for how things need to be, right? And the reason why is because I would argue that a lot of people think that things need to be this or that way, but what they don't realize is that it's just a trauma response of their upbringing, right? It's the way that they were raised. That's all that it is. And so when you actually like take a step back from it for a while and you look at it, it challenges the narrative that's been playing. And that's why it's very important to see it for what it is. So, in terms of taking your energy back on yourself, you're going to get a lot of backlash, right? Um, People that never actually had the place in your life that they think that they do, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Like, you're just taking your energy back. That's all. You are just taking your energy back. And you are investing it in yourself. And that's what this is all about, right? So, one of the most interesting things that has been kind of like happening for me lately is when it comes to dealing with people and their energy, right? Literally, like, it used to be that I would just completely take over people's problems for them. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Um, and now it's like, never mind, that's your shit, not mine. I'm not doing that. The only reason I used to do that is because I thought I had to, because I was conditioned into the rescuer role, right? I was conditioned into being the emotional container for people. And it's just very interesting to see how the dynamic has shifted, right? Because now, like, now that I'm not doing that, like, people are like, what's going on with you? I'm like, nothing. I'm healing. And I'm not taking on your shit anymore. It's funny. It's very funny. And it's not a selfish thing to do. It's actually a very selfless thing to do. I need to give my energy to myself first before I can give it to anyone else. We really, I think it was this video yesterday that I said it in, but I'll say it again. It may have been a different one. Anyway. So, we really can't give ourselves with our best to other people if we're not giving ourselves to ourselves first, right? If you aren't showing up for yourself first, you're going to struggle to show up for anybody else with your fullest potential. This is why you need to put yourself first. This is why looking past judgments of selfishness, of, you're so selfish, this, that, and the other, it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary because those people are just projecting their own ideas of how things are supposed to be onto you, and it's just not the reality of things. It's not accurate. So all you really have to do is look at how you're going to approach yourself moving forward, which of course after this process is going to be different, right? Recognizing the separation between you and other people, forming your own conscious thoughts and opinions, allowing yourself to feel regardless of what anybody else is feeling. Oh yeah, by the way, here's another really important thing to take into consideration. Just because somebody's not okay doesn't mean that you can't be okay. And that needs to be understood because when it comes to enmeshment and codependency and people pleasing and all that stuff, what a lot of people tend to do is they tend to think that they can't be okay unless other people are okay. And if other people are not okay, it is their responsibility to do something about it, to change what they're feeling, all that kind of stuff. And it's very interesting because, again, I'm not responsible for people's emotions. Again, though, I'm not going to, go around and say indecent things to people. I'm not. But I'm not responsible for people's emotions. I'm not. And that was not the previous narrative that played in my mind. So, through that kind of stuff, you become conditioned to learn to be so invested in other people's emotions and their shit. But I would argue, too, that it's also kind of like a society thing and a culture thing. What you find in the home, you can find in the media as well, right? Drama and gossip and everything, and, just getting involved in shit that has nothing to do with you, right? And it's interesting because I didn't used to think this way. I used to get myself involved in things that were none of my business. And now I look at it, and it's like, no, that's weird. It's strange. At this point in my life, I am sincerely and genuinely exploring my own individuality, and thus individuating. And it's a very rewarding process. You just have to keep recognizing the separation between you and other people. Understand where you begin, where you end, where other people begin, where other people end. Understand that it's not your responsibility to rescue people, right? It's just not. And just having your own life. Having your own life. Something that I previously never had. It's very interesting. Having your own life. I think that's kind of there are many main themes here, but that's having your own life. That's it. right there. That's it. Having your own life, having your own sense of self that is separate and independent of other people and their thoughts and opinions and feelings and everything. It doesn't like when you finally realize how corrupt the system is, how when I say corrupt in system, I'm not referring to anything out there. I'm referring to the structure, the ways in which the individual has operated due to trauma, and due to that, how they have become part of a system that, you know, has been enmeshed and just so invested in what everyone else is thinking and feeling, and, you know, have to know what's going on. Like, no, like you don't have to know what's going on. You don't. In fact, go to the mountains, right? Like, go to the forest. It's that simple. Just get out and uh, I guess the word is decondition yourself. You have to starve yourself of the parasites that are trying to make your life mediocre. Wow, that was that was a powerful thing. You do though. You have to starve yourself from the parasites that are making your life mediocre. When I say that, I actually think about the sugar parasites that live inside of us. You know, like when we consume the very reason why some people, you know, I guess the word is want to eat what they want to eat is because they have parasites inside of them, suggesting that that's what they need to eat. So it's like they're actually unconscious of what it is that they need to eat. It's very fascinating. It's like, what? I think I learned that last year, and I was just like so fascinated by it. But you really do. You have to starve. You have to starve the heck out of the parasites that are making your life mediocre. It's just the way that it is. So ask yourself, how will I approach myself differently with the insights and self-knowledge that I have gained throughout that I have gained throughout this process?